Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 98 of Direwolf20's Age of Engineering series. Today, do I want another ender chest? I can probably just do another ender chest, right? Don't ask me why I'm doing it this way, because I don't have a valid answer for you guys. I just don't. But let's do tape. And tape. I have been growing carrots and pumpkins in the overworld here, with the main purpose being that I need those to fuel my... So you're running again? Nice. Fueling... my mechanism stuff, and every now and then it runs low, so I have to swap them out, otherwise I run out of mechanism power. But you can see here I have carrots and these guys. I'm gonna actually tape you guys up. I'm gonna put away these two because these are basically two full drawers. Oh, missed. There you go. Cool. 2048 and 28. Cool. So that should grow and do stuff. So basically what will happen is when pumpkins run out, carrots will go in, and when then carrots run out, we'll go back to pumpkins, and we'll see. Hopefully that should keep me up and running pretty soon. But we could always... I mean, frankly, that's not even that important right now, because I could just throw, like, a creative energy cube in here, because that's fine. But this is all running smoothly, so it's all good, right? Pumpkins turn into 6 biofuel, so it's technically better than carrots, but it's all cool. So today's episode, I've got a couple things going on. I think I am finally ready to click the craft button, and I wanted to do it on camera. And I want to see if I derped anything up. But in theory, I should be able to click Creative Capacitor Bank and request one, and it will auto-craft everything that is required. Now, some of these things have been duped, so that's good, right? Like, we already have Draconic Energy Cores. We already have... some of the things that we need, and I basically just want to keep an eye on stuff for a few minutes here, which I'll probably do mostly off camera to make sure everything crafts properly. Now this is going to use this crafting CPU, which is 262,000 capacity. It needs 201,000. It's probably the only one that can do it, right? None of the others are available. And it has 32 coprocessors, so it should craft 32 objects at a time, which should be cool. Oh, you're lying about something. Somewhere, something doesn't have enough something. It might be... How many raw materials do we need? It might be blocks of coal available 80. I know we have that many coal, right? Because I know... Let's see. Currently, we're at what? We have 508 blocks of coal, 4075, right? So I was all ready to get this going. How much coal total we need? 4377 minus the 80 blocks. So I think we might be a little bit short on coal, but we should be good on everything else. So I'm going to basically just need to wait for coal to come in. 4587. Yeah, because we're doing it with compacting drawers, the AE system gets a little confused. It thinks that we have this plus this coal instead of that being the same amount. So I guess AE is a little confused about how that works. So we might have to just wait a little bit more for more coal to come in. But we should have tons of tantalum now. Yeah, we have like tons of tantalum. And we are mining up quite a hefty bit of coal, which is nice. And you know what I'm going to do? I did make a black lens, so I think that's one of the ones that's actually... Hey, immersive room. Hey, you're the resource miner. Black lens. That should get us coal. Preferred black lens, right? So that'll increase the effectiveness of getting coal. So we should get a lot more coal being sucked up here. That should be nice. Cool. And all these are running because tantalum. Beautiful. All right, so let's work on, while we're waiting for that, let's work on our mechanism gases that we're going to need in order to get, so as a reminder, if we want to get a creative vending upgrade, we're going to need a creative gas tank or 2. Now, it says we just need 5 empty gas tanks. That's a big fat lie that we are fully aware of, because JEI is lying about that. We actually need gas tanks with specific gases in them. So we're going to need 5 basic gas tanks, which we should be able to make relatively easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check. That's not really the end, because we now have to fill them up with... luckily, they're pretty low. Only 64,000, which is, I guess, a pretty low capacity. Thankfully, he didn't make me fill up an ultimate gas tank or something shenanigan-y like that. But we're going to need a few gases. So basically what I'm going to do is just kind of go through the line here. Some of these we are already making. Gas tanks must be filled with clean osmium slurry, hydrogen chloride, sodium, ethylene, and DT fuel. Okay, those are the things that we need to get. So ethylene we're already making, right, as a form of gas. And if we go into our mechanism room, that's what this line is making, basic pressurized tube. This is making ethylene, right? Yeah. So if we were to just do this, you're filling up with ethylene. So that's going to complete step 1 of 5. Done. Easy peasy. Osmium slurry. Is that a liquid? That's molten osmium. What is osmium slurry? Am I spelling that wrong? Clean osmium slurry. Do what now? Is that one of that, like, you know, crazy, like, making lots more resources than possible thing? So you in a mechanism, dude. Purification chamber, osmium dust, osmium clump, osmium shards, dissolution chamber, osmium slurry. There we go. Why aren't you in JEI? That's interesting. So osmium with sulfuric acid in a chemical dissolution chamber will get me osmium slurry. And then what can we do with that? How do we get clean osmium slurry? Because it said I need clean osmium slurry. So maybe it's time for Google. All right, according to Google, slurry is washed in a chemical washer with water to make clean slurry. Cool, so we're going to need a chemical dissolution chamber. So let's do this. Osmium ore. We should, in theory, have way more osmium than we could ever need. Well, we have 25,000 ingots. So let's go remove osmium from the export bus here so that we start building up osmium ore inside the system. Now osmium ore will no longer be auto-processed. Cool? So that'll never be dumped into the thing until we go put it back. So we're going to need a chemical dissolution chamber. And we're also going to need sulfuric acid, which was that one of the things that we needed? Hydrogen chloride, sodium, I guess not. So we need sulfuric acid, so let's figure that out. Sulfuric acid from Mechanism is sulfur trioxide and water vapor in a chemical infuser. Sulfur trioxide and water vapor, neither of which appear. Sulfur trioxide. Okay, cool, nice. Needs oxygen and sulfur dioxide, okay. Which needs sulfur dust in a chemical oxidizer. Or, okay, chemical oxidizer. Sulfur dust. How are we for sulfur dust? We have some. We can extract our gunpowder for it. That's probably the easiest method, would be my guess. There's a bee that can produce it, but pass. Sag milling, what? Sag milling netherrack gives you a 15% chance of getting it. And sag milling blaze rods give you a 50% chance. I don't like the percent chance based stuff when I set up auto crafting. So you can get it occasionally, but probably your best bet is extractor gunpowder. That's probably the best place we're going to want to go. I assume I have a decent amount of gunpowder. I have 2048. Good enough for me. Cool. Which we can totally molecular transformer. Sweet. Alright, cool. Or we can enrichment chamber. Alright, so we have a lot of mechanism things to do today. And by today, I mean over the next few days. Because it's not going to be a short period of time. Not even a little bit. So are you full? You're getting there. You're making all the ethylene that we want. Let's get started. So, in order to make... it's funny that slurry's not in there. That's weird. That's going to mess me up a little bit, that slurry's not in there. But we're going to need a chemical dissolution chamber. Cool. So that shouldn't be too bad. It needs a couple gas tanks. So we need an atomic, an enriched, and 4 basic control circuits. An atomic. Some enriched. And some basic control circuits. We're going to need 2 more basic tanks. 1, 2. And that should go into making a chemical dissolution chamber. Yay. Cool. All right, so that's what we use to get osmium slurry from osmium. Cool. We're going to need sulfuric acid, though. So let's next figure out how sulfuric acid comes into play. That is from a chemical infuser. So that's probably the way we want to go. Or we can get liquid sulfuric acid, which is just made from sulfuric acid. So we're going to want sulfuric acid anyway. That's coming. So we need a chemical infuser. So let's get a chemical infuser going. Do I want to like autocraft these? I don't think so. Chemical infuser is going to need a dynamic tank, which steel ingots in a bucket. Cool. Chemical infuser. Check. All right, so sulfuric acid is covered. Now to get water vapor, I don't know how to get water vapor. We'll figure that out in a minute. Sulfur trioxide needs oxygen, which we're already producing, and sulfur dioxide in another chemical infuser. Right? And then sulfur dioxide is a chemical oxidizer. Let's just get like 100 of these real quick because they're super easy to craft. All right, oxidizer needs a personal chest, which needs more steel. That's about it. And 2 chests. So chemical oxidizer needs personal chest. Getting there, just waiting on steel for a sec. Come on, steel, let's go. Shouldn't take too long for that to, you know, do its thing. There we go, personal chest, and let's get 10 more of these things real quick. Cool, chemical oxidizer. All right, so back to sulfur. So that was sulfur dioxide, right? So sulfur trioxide also needs oxygen, which we have. Sulfur dioxide, check. Sulfur trioxide, check. Sulfuric acid also needs water vapor. Water vapor comes from water going into a rotary condensator. So a rotary condensator needs a basic fluid tank, check, and an energy tablet, which we have on autocraft pretty easily. So these should be all the machines I need to make sulfuric acid, and this slurry stuff. And we'll get to the clean slurry bit in a minute. Chemical washer is what makes. Let's just go ahead and make the washer. Chemical washer. What else do I need for this? Just a machine casing, a steel casing. Cool. So that's going to be just a bit of chrome and stainless steel plates. Cool. That won't take too long to get a steel casing. And then we will have technically all the machines we need to get for clean slurry. In theory. I think. Now the next question is where to build all this stuff. Because mostly it's going to be a one-time thing, just like the liquids were. So once we have an infinite gas tank, I'm suspecting that there's going to be a way to like reset the gas tank and keep making all the infinite liquid or gases that I want. So like I can make one and then be good to go. I don't know if I can store it in buckets like I have been with the fluids, right? So like all the buckets that we've been doing in here. I don't know if that's doable. Probably not, because it's a gas, and gas in buckets doesn't make any sense. But you never know. We'll figure it out. Once I get that up and running, will be cool. So, wow, this is a lot of machines that we need here. So first off, we need chemical dissolution chamber. So like let's kind of line these up. Chemical washer, chemical rotary condensator, chemical dissolution chamber. That's what we need to put sulfuric acid into. So this is your end game, right? So shenanigans is what it is. Having all these pipes in here is kind of messy. What I should do is do them underground, frankly. The problem is I don't think there's facades, so I can't bring them up through the ground. Some of this could go underground, but others can't, right? And it is quite a mess down here of wiring. Dire wire for days. Let's do this. Chemical dissolution chamber. Let's see if we can kind of set this up. And then rotary condensator is what we want to dump the slurry into. No, chemical washer. So that's the next one, right? Chemical washer. That goes next. So this is what's going to get us the slurry, right? And you've got basically a liquid in and out. I presume the left is liquid out. Let's get the mechanism tool. Fluids. So I can't configure your sides at all, which is great. But I'm going to assume that left is input and right is output, right? So this guy, the chemical washer, not 100% sure how this goes in, but hopefully the left side can be an input. You don't seem to have any configuration either, so that's awesome. Chemical washer, right? And then for the dissolution chamber, we need the sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid is going to come from a chemical infuser. Which needs 2 liquids in and 1 liquid out, I presume. And that also doesn't have sidedness to it. So chemical infuser looks like 1, 2, 3 sides. So I'm going to assume that chemical infuser, the front side, is the output. Does that sound good? Right? So in order to get sulfuric acid, we need sulfur trioxide and water vapor. Right? So one of you... So sulfur trioxide is oxygen and sulfur dioxide. So let's put that here. And then sulfur dioxide comes from the chemical oxidizer. So the chemical oxidizer looks like the left side is the output. Maybe that looks like a fluid output. Not 100% sure, but we'll have to. We might have to like rearrange some of this to figure it out completely. So that gets your sulfur dioxide, and then the rotary condensator is where we get our water vapor from for the sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, water vapor. Yeah. So for the sulfuric acid, which is this, we need water vapor from the rotary condensator, which I assume can go here. So none of this is sided, but water vapor, we basically want water to go to water vapor, decondensing. So we want it to be like that. So that's nifty. So I might remove all this stuff, because I don't even remember what I set this up for. Hey, you're done? Cool. Hopefully you retain your inventory when I break you like that. Good, you do. Good to know for future use. But like maybe I'll remove all this stuff. So this was exporting what? Export bus is off. This was making something. What did I make this for again? Liquid ethylene? In a PRC makes HDPE pellets. Okay, cool. So we do need a lot of those, remember? We did decide that we need a lot of those. That needs substrates. And a byproduct is oxygen, which is kind of cool. So HDPE pellets, huh? So substrate. We do need a lot of these, remember? Because we need, in order to get the creative, this guy, one of these, we need HDPE pellets, like 4096 of them. Yeah. So that shouldn't be a problem to make that. Cool. Okay. So that'll at least run a little bit. And I could speed that up, obviously, too, with speed upgrades, which are disabled at the moment. All these things can take speed upgrades, by the way. So maybe I want to move this all to the right one. Let me do that off camera. Well, no, I don't really want to move it all to the right one. What about up in the center of this room? Could we use the center of the room for temporary crafting purposes? Spacing is really my issue in here. I didn't realize I would need this much space for Mechanism until I got to creative time. And then it was like, yeah, you do. The other thing I could do is kind of wreck parts of this setup. See, we still need the ethylene. Well, here's a question. Ethylene's a liquid, right? So could I, like, creative tank that? Maybe? Well, no, wait, ethylene's a gas, that's right. There's a liquid version of ethylene, but yeah, ethylene itself is a gas. That's right, so I can't creative tank that. So producing ethylene is important because we need it for the HDPE pellets. Well, here, liquid ethylene, right? So could I get a bucket of that? Because if I could get a bucket of that, that would be cool. So I have a bucket. Okay, why? Alright, what if we did this? Hey, look at that! Fluid tank. And can I bucket you? So I can't get a bucket of ethylene? It doesn't appear so. But I could get a can of ethylene. Or liquid ethylene, at least. Yeah. So we could do that and have a bunch on hand. So like, I'll just get a stack of cans of ethylene, right? And then, here's what I'll do. So instead of having a bucket of it on hand, when I break you and replace it, right? So this is making liquid ethylene. So let's stop him from making liquid ethylene. Oh, hello. Magnet, please. I don't know what machine that was, but we lost it. It's probably cheap, though, so I'm not worried. Right? So we can move all this. I know. Oxygen. Okay. And remove this. And this thing can be heavily more concentrated, because basically what we'll do is we'll put this down. If I right-click this with this, nice. We get... And it doesn't even use up the can? That is even better. That is beautiful. Okay, I like that a lot. So what we can do, right, is we basically pop this guy down, and we can make this a lot more compact of a build. So let's do that. So this is an oxygen tank. He's filling up. I'll have him void the excess oxygen if it's not already. So we're going to export bus substrate, and then we're going to import bus. And that's a PRC right there. So let's move all this. Okay, so you can be moved. See what I mean about oxygen needing to recalculate every now and then, by the way? So let's move you somewhere to like a way more out of the way area. Because you really only need to be like 2 machines right now. So you can be moved. So this is a pressurized reaction chamber. You also need oxygen. Oh, right. Oxygen is a byproduct. So that's not voiding oxygen. That's giving me oxygen. That's okay. We still have plenty of oxygen in this tank. So I can void a little bit. I will go toggle that thing in a minute. So let's put this like back here, right? Pressurized reaction chamber. Oh good, you retained your oxygen. Nice. Borrow you for a sec? Oh wait, wrong one. Cool, and you should be filling up with oxygen again. Cool. Liquid ethylene will come via creative tank here for the time being. Let's also get some speed upgrades, because I can. Speed. Energy. Cool. And then basic mechanical pipe. Extracting liquid ethylene. Nice. Alright, so here's what I'm doing now. So I've set this up here. I'm making a calculation processor. Come on, calculation processor, let's go. Craft already. Thank you. Level emitter. An HDPE pellet. And basically what I'm going to say is redstone control. I'm going to insert this card here and active with signal. So you shouldn't be exporting substrates anymore. I would like you to instead, not that. Great. So this, redstone card again, here, exporting substrate, active with signal. So you should be exporting now. And you will emit when signals are below the limit. And we want 4096 HDPE pellets. So what that means is when we hit 4096 HDPE pellets, right? So like right now we've got, so let's make it like 400, right? Right? So once we hit 400 HDPE pellets, which we just did, it turns off the signal, and then it stops exporting. Cool? All right. But we'll make it actually the 4096 that we want, and then it'll turn back on, and that should be good. Nice? All right, so that will be cool. So we'll let that run, and that will give me more room over here. Let's go central area. Whenever that weird thing happens, I just come over here and do that, and it recalculates the base and gets everything working better. Cool. All right, so that's got that going now. So now these machines are pretty much in theory what I should need. Let's get more elite universal cables if I don't have any. Can you craft those? You can. Good job, Direwolf. I love when I did stuff correctly. So let's just like that it. I could do it all underneath too, technically. Let me do that off camera for a sec. All right, I just toggled on and off the thing, and that all seems good. So I think we're cool here. All right, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So chemical washer needs water, apparently, to clean the slurry. I'm not sure which side it needs to accept water from, but we'll just have to swap it. So this needs sulfuric acid. So let's start with this one. So chemical oxidizer with sulfur in it should make what we need. And we're gonna need some quieters. There it was, actually. Make a bunch of those for me, would you? So are you going into here? Oh, it makes a very small amount. You aren't gonna be super nice about, like, auto-outputting to adjacent blocks, are you? Probably not. So this is a sulfur dioxide. I assume that's a liquid? Or is that a gas? So sulfur, there's liquid sulfur dioxide, so I assume that's a gas. So we're gonna need the gas pipes. Pressurized tube for gases, yeah, that one. Needs stainless steel plate. Can I just request 10 of those, please? Cool. So mechanisms, we're gonna need lots of muffling upgrades here. Come on, stainless steel plates, let's go. We're just waiting on steel. All right, should have enough at least. So this is a chemical infuser. The nice thing is we're not auto-calculating now, so we can kind of make a mess here and be all right. So you, chemical oxidizer, you're going to pipe your gases. All right, that is not the correct thing then. So maybe it's this side? That would make sense. All right, so hold on. If that's the case, sulfur dioxide with oxygen in a chemical infusion makes trioxide in a chemical infuser. So we need sulfuric acid, we need sulfur trioxide, we need sulfur dioxide. So that So now we need to get the dioxide there in a chemical infuser, right? So let's just try a chemical infuser here. Let's turn you. So I'm pretty sure if I turn you, you'll retain your inventory. Empty. Nice, sulfur dioxide. Perfect. All right, cool. So that's absolutely what we want. Now you need oxygen on some other side. Presumably this side? So if I got a tank... One of these tanks should have oxygen in it. Yeah. Let's get a gas tank. You? That holds 128. That'll be good. So we'll replace that. So you're going to fill up with oxygen. Cool. Nice. All right. So oxygen here. Tell me you're going to, like, auto side config. Hey! Nice. All right. Muffle that guy up. So you're going to make sulfur trioxide, right? So then if we want sulfur dioxide, or no, we want sulfuric acid, we want trioxide plus water vapor, right? And that is in a chemical infuser. Hopefully facing this way. Sulfur trioxide, cool. And then the rotary condensator well, actually, I'm not sure which side is the input or output. So we'll start with this side, right? And that is toggle operation decondensating, right? So if we want water vapor, it is water goes in the right side and it outputs the left. So I'm thinking we're going to actually want it to be this way, right? So we should put water in this side. So what if we got a ender tank? Which shouldn't be a hard craft to get. Cool, because I have an ender tank with water in it. Come on, buddy. Let's go. That's an easy craft. It doesn't take long, which is nice. And then we got lapis. Blue, blue, blue. Look, water. Aha. And because we're doing mechanism, let's go ahead and use, not universal cable, logistical transporter, mechanical pipes. So if I did that, would you... No, you would not be cool. Totally the wrong direction. Decondensating? Okay, not right either. Rotary condensator. Hey, there we go. Cool. No, we're good. We were right the first time. Nice. You need to be quieted. It's okay. Quiet down. So we've got sulfur trioxide. You're going to need to be quiet too. Sulfuric acid. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Nice. Sulfuric acid. Now hopefully you're going to spit that sulfuric acid out in the direction of the chemical dissolution chamber. Sulfuric acid, and then osmium goes in here, and that will make what looks like 1 bucket of slurry. And then we need this guy to get that osmium slurry, and then we're going to want some water here as well. Looks like I could pipe it on the top if I wanted to. Is that accurate? Nice, cool. And then we're going to get clean osmium slurry, which we're going to want to store in a basic gas tank. Is that a gas? I guess it is. Clean osmium slurry. Hey, cool. Guess what we just did? We totally got clean osmium slurry. How great is that? How am I doing on HDPEs? By the way, we're not doing too bad on HDPE pellets here, dudes. That's really cool. And power's doing fine. All right, good, good, good. So this works. It's not the most beautiful thing, but remember, we only ever have to make 64 buckets worth of clean osmium slurry. Now, if we wanted to, we could totally like do some speed upgrades or something in here to make this a little bit faster. But I would say, like, why bother, right? We've got clean osmium slurry going. We've already got 1 bucket's worth. So let's leave the stack of osmium ore in there, and we'll just let it run. And I think that'll be cool, right? So I don't know how much more sulfur we might need. Let's just grab another stack. We'll throw it in there, and we'll just hope that that's enough. And if we need more sulfur, then so be it. Like, I don't know how much sulfuric acid we're really using here. But we'll just leave it, and we'll just keep an eye on it. I mean, we have tons of oxygen. We don't really have a lot of sulfur going on. Sulfur trioxide we've got a decent amount. So, all right, we will leave that be, and we'll come back to a full gas tank of clean osmium slurry, which, just confirming, we needed clean osmium slurry. Perfect. So that is 2 of the 5 done. All right, guys, so I suspect that this is going pretty well. With that said, how about, this guy's definitely the slower part of this. So I might speed up a couple parts just to get her going, but long story short, I'm going to say let's wrap up the episode. Because we've gotten a lot done today that's really good. I'm going to want to come back next episode and make some other gases for Mekanism. And then we should be able to get a creative gas tank. I'm also going to see if I can kick off, before we wrap up the episode, one of these. Start. Oh, it's running. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is amazing. How's my central area gonna look? Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. They're all going. Not all as perfectly as I would have liked, but see how much of this redstone stuff we need? Like, it's legit that we needed this many things. So that is cool. Wow. Look, they're pretty much all running with the redstones. That's cool. That is really cool. So I'll keep an eye on this between episodes and make sure that it just completes successfully and it doesn't get stuck anywhere. And if it does get stuck somewhere, I'll come back next episode and tell you about it. Deal? For now, Daryl20 signing off. Take it easy.